Hi, welcome back to Box Delights. In this video I'm going to be doing a blind playthrough of Salvation Road. What that means is I've not yet played the game, but I'm going to be playing this for the first time with you guys. This is a Kickstarter, so this is only a prototype I've got here, but it's by Van Ryder Games, who did Hostage Negotiator, which I was a big fan of, also on Kickstarter. And I like the look of the components. We've got, obviously, some artwork is still prototype. We've got these Polaroid type cards. It's a neat idea. They're nice and glossy for the prototype. This is one of the better prototypes I've seen. So let's get set up, follow the rules, and see how this thing plays. What we see so far, alright, there's some art coming soon, looks pretty good. It's a cooperative game with a post-apocalyptic theme inspired by Mad Max. It plays 1 to 8. Basically the rules are the same. You've got a core of 2 to 4 players, but each player takes both a hero and a survivor. So to extend the game, this is 2 to 4, to extend the game to 8 players, basically 1 player takes a hero and 1 takes a survivor to go beyond. So that's kind of a variant, right? And the solitaire rules would be just control 2 to 4 players yourself. Alright, so we're going to do that. We're going to play with, let's play a 3-player game. Why don't we do that? Obviously each player has its own set of abilities. So, yeah, the game ultimately is going to play very differently. And then survivors. Okay, we've only got 2, so let's randomly choose 1. And then we'll assign one of the survivors to each of these players. What's interesting from a single player point of view, when you're playing this pair, that your hero has kind of positive abilities and then your survivor has kind of a negative impeding ability. That's quite neat. And this is one thing I like about Van Ryder Games, is they're coming up with unique ideas, and that's the thing I'm looking for. When I'm looking for new games, I want some unique gameplay features. Next up, take the road cards. That's these. Okay, give them a shuffle. These are obviously things we can find on the road, and we have to place the unexplored side upwards. Notice there's different backs, probably giving an indication of what's on the other side. Okay, that's the road. Next we have to take the top card and place it with unexplored side up on the road map at the top of the board here. Now we've got some standees. We need to grab the right ones for our hero and survivor. And these go in the compound here. Let's put them in their pairs. And we also have activation markers. These are these, so they'll go back to the box. Now we've got a whole bunch of tokens. These are resources, these are wounds. So we place these down here. They need to be face down and shuffled. And then the resources placed up on the board. We have fuel tokens up here on the keys. These represent the keys to the truck, I presume. Then we've got food here on the cracker. Then we've got some medical supplies, med tokens, and some ammo tokens too. One thing you're going to notice about the game board is that things are going to get placed on here kind of free, organic way. Okay, there's not necessarily some, distinct marked areas apart from these places here to place tokens. Next we need to initialize some marauders on bikes or buggies, motorbikes or buggies. And the number is given by a number of players. So we're playing a 3-player game, so it's 5 and 6. So we'll just grab the right number. 6 and then 5, yeah. And the rest go back in the box as spares. Now these Polaroid type cards, these are location deck. And we need to take out the 3 recon locations, the one with this kind of nuclear waste sign, and shuffle the rest. Should be 8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lovely. And we take the number of cards equal to the number of players, 3, and add 1 random recon location. Tell me to stop. Okay, and keep it face down, shuffle that in, place them face down on the board. Place the truck on the left side of the board here, it says to the truck, and we give it 1 food. So you represent the group's starting resources. Pretty meagre, I think. What have we got next? We've got search cards. Give them a shuffle. And then we've got these apocalypse cards. And we're going to have a kind of a random set of these because we're going to retrieve or remove 5 at random. 1, 4, 5. Put these back in the box. These binoculars are the first player token, so we'll just give that to one of our players. Let's give it to Juan at the top. A set of threat dice. And let's look at what we're trying to do. So we lose if the final marauder token is placed on this fence, it says. Or if both characters controlled by a single player are defeated. If we draw the last apocalypse card from the deck and cannot travel. Or if we attempt to travel and we don't have enough resources. We win if all characters are in the compound during a refresh phase and decide to travel, and the characters have enough resources to pay the cost of all road cards and the toll. Okay, right, so let's see how this works. Why don't we just start by diving straight into the action. Let's activate one of our characters. So on your turn, you activate 1 character. Let's activate our main hero. And you can take 2 actions and 1 free transfer action, it says. Now it seems clear we need to go out to locations and find some fuel, I would guess. And we'll probably need ammo and so on as well. Who knows? Let's see. Let's set out. Grab my logo, find a location. I don't think it matters which one. There's a maximum of 3 characters in each of these locations. Flip it over, and we found St. Joseph's Hospital. Now we place a threat token here on the leftmost spot. Alright, at this 0. St. Joseph's Hospital says if we end our activation here, you may discard 1 unrevealed wound. Okay, so we can heal here. Alright, but what's the benefit of this location then? When you move to a location, you search. So you draw a search card, and you place the indicated resources here. Well, this isn't a search action, this is a move action, right? This just says this is what is at this location. 2 of those, and 1 fuel. Okay, great. And this gets discarded. Now let's see what he can do for his next action. The next action, remember we've got 2 actions. Let's do a gather. So to gather, we take 1 resource token from the location supply. Let's take this fuel and we place it on one of these free spots on his player card. He does have a special. Once per round, I may send a resource to or take a resource from another character or the truck. I don't think we need that right now. So that's those 2 actions. Now we've got this free transfer, and the free transfer says you can move 1 resource to another character at the location, or if you're in the compound, as many resources as they wish to the truck, or take 1 resource from the truck. Okay, so there's obviously going to be get everyone onto the truck and travel down the road with the right amount of resources. What I don't know is how we reveal that road yet. We'll get there, I'm sure. Okay, so that's the action phase for the first player. And now we move to Rosa. Let's send Rosa out. I'm quite happy leaving these survivors behind for the time being. So we send her out here to get some good defensive supplies. That's one action, then we'll gather. And I think we'll use Juan's ability to give her the fuel as well, so she can take that back with her. Next up, what's Jose do? Jose cannot be assigned wounds from a threat roll. Let's get Jose Berrios moving. Let's get the survivor moving. He's a coward. Let's send him out to another location for his first action. So we turn it over. It says it's Maldito Motors. Before or after resolving an action, resolve a free move action, ignoring character abilities related to movement. Okay. Let's find out what resources are here. 2 fuel and some ammo. We won't take our free move. Instead, let's take a gather. Let's gather up this. Oh, that's not the right stuff. We need fuel. I could bring the ammo back, but let's leave him here and he can bring back the 2 fuel next time instead. Rashid next. So join the threat phase, roll 1 additional die at Rashid's location if able. That doesn't sound good, so let's get him out at a location. Let's send him up here, see what's up here. Somebody's storage. If you end your activation here, you may take a resource from this location's supply. Nice. See what we've got here then. 2 food, 1 ammo. Okay. Second action, let's grab some food. Food sounds good. So that's our 2 actions. If we end activation here, we can take an additional resource. Let's take the other food. Next up is Hank. Now Hank's got this careless one. Every time Hank moves to the compound, add 1 marauder to the fence. So Hank needs to stay out there. So let's have Hank reveal the final location. Resources, 2 fuel and a food. This explains what we need to do for the road cards. So we take 1 wound to scout, 2 wounds to explore. Scouting means placing another road card up here. It seems the maximum is the number of players plus 1, so 4 road cards. And then to explore means flipping one of these cards over. So why don't we do that? Let's take 2 wounds and explore. So Hank takes 2 wounds. We keep them unrevealed. I've got a feeling Hank might be a bit of dead weight around here. We'll see. Now we can flip this over and see what resources we need to get through that part of the road. We need 4 ammo, 1 fuel. There's a rock slide on the road. Blow up the ammo to clear a path. Carl's turn next then. We need to collect some ammo. So yeah, do we abandon the compound? That's the question. Carl does have a special. As an action, once per round, move to an occupied location and another character there performs 1 action. So, that action then, my commanding influence is to move here. I'm going to have Rashid and Mia move. That's going to be his action. Back to the compound. And then for my second action, I'm going to gather this ammo. Okay. Now we move to the threat phase. And we're going to roll, the first player rolls one or more threat dice for each occupied location card to see if the marauders attack. We don't roll for the compound, which is good because Rashid says during the threat phase roll one additional die. Yeah, okay, so that's cool. So at the hospital we have to look at the threat track and the number of people here, so that's 2 plus 0. So we grab 2 threat dice. Now you always grab the blue ones first. So any time we would start grabbing the red ones as if there's more than 4 on that result. Okay, so 2 dice. So the threat starts relatively low, I guess. But no, it's still 2. That's the number of wound tokens caused by marauders at that location. We can discard ammo tokens, it says, to re-roll as many threat dice as they'd like. And we don't want to use ammo, we're trying to collect it for the rock slide. But we could use Rose's ability. She may re-roll all threat dice showing wounds at her location during the threat phase. Let's re-roll both these then. And this time we got just 1 wound. So we take 1 wound, unrevealed, and we've got to divide it between characters at this location, so let's give it to 1. Now we move on to the next location, Sandy Storage, which just has Carl. Now this is kind of free to roll these in any order you wish. This is 1 plus 0, so it's just 1 die. That's a blank, so nothing for him. Satellite Station, again it's just 1 for Hank. 1 more wound for him. We might have to do some healing. Then lastly, Maldito Motors. So again, 1 die. And it's a blank. Good rolling. One important point, and we can look at Rosa as an example. If she gets wounds that fill up her player card and takes another wound, you can place it in one of these slots, but she has to drop the thing she's carrying. That's really good. I like this because it means that thematically, the weaker they get, the less stuff they can carry. Nice, huh? That's all locations rolled. Now we move into the apocalypse phase, and this is where we have to draw one of these cards, see what happens. There's an interesting rule here. See, this is type famine. In the interests of lightning never strikes twice, if the top card of the discard has the same type, you can, if you wish, choose to draw again. Alright, it gets you closer to defeat. Remember, we lose. This is a timer ticking down if this deck empties. It says, first we add marauders, and this is what this icon means. So we add, in a 3-player game, 1 marauder to the fence. You always start with bikes and then only start adding the buggies once the motorcycles have run out. Remember too, this is one of our losing conditions. If the final marauder token's placed here on the fence, then we immediately lose. Next up then it says, please tell me you didn't need that. Each character takes a wound, reveals it, and resolves its effect. It says characters may discard a food to let up to 3 characters at the location ignore these effects. Now we're not carrying any food apart from Rashid, who's back here at the compound. So each character takes a wound. That's not good, is it? Let's see what we all get. Poor old Hank. He's going to suffer, isn't he? And Carl gets an injury. But that's okay. Having one of these has no further effect, an injury token. So just feeling a bit upset from that food. Jose gets plus 1 wound. That's a critical wound. That means he has to take 1 more unrevealed. Okay, what about Hank? He's got a sprained ankle. This forces him to be delayed. We tip his standee over, like so. He'll have to take an action to become undelayed. And then Rosa, she gets a painful wound, and the result of this depends on where she is. If she's at a location, she increases the threat. If she's at the compound, Then another marauder comes out. He's up here at the hospital, so increase the threat. Now we have Juan. Gets a critical wound. Gives him another one. And then finally Rashid. Now he could eat the food instead of this. But at this stage I'm going to take the wound instead. Yep, that's okay, that's just an injury. And that's it, we've completed the first round of the game. And this satellite station is obviously going to prove important. What we want to try and do is figure out how we can get enough ammo to travel. Everyone needs to be back at the compound to travel. Alright, let's wrap up this episode here. Join me next time as we head into round 2.